Welcome to Wisdom Unveiled. Today we're doing another deep dive, this time focusing entirely on the incredible poetry of Hafez Shirazi.
That's right. We're drawing from some fascinating translated conversations involving Dr. Dinani and Dr. Larijani from the Maarefat program.
And just a quick note up front, because this is based on translation from Persian, some nuances might get lost or shift slightly. We appreciate your understanding as we explore these ideas together.
Definitely. Our aim is really to unpack some of the core mystical and philosophical layers in Hafez, guided by what these thinkers discuss.
Exactly, and we thought what better way than to focus on one specific, really evocative ghazal. It starts with the line, "Last night I saw that the angels knocked at the tavern door."
A powerful opening.
It really is. Now that first part, "last night I saw," it sounds simple, but is it just about, nighttime? What's the significance there, according to Dr. Dinani?
Well, he suggests it's not about literal darkness, the absence of the sun. It's symbolic. Think of it as representing an inner state, what he terms batin in Nigerish, or maybe ruyati batin. It's about a kind of spiritual seeing, an inner perception.
So it's less about when it happened and more about how it was perceived, like an insight dawning inwardly.
Precisely. It's a perception that operates outside our usual constraints of time and, physical space. It signals something beyond the mundane is happening.
Okay, so it sets a mystical stage.
Right.
Then that the angels knocked, angels Malaik. How should we picture these beings in this context based on the discussions?
Yeah, the Islamic philosophical tradition, which both Dr. Dinani and Dr. Larijani draw on, sees angels, malaik, as fundamentally spiritual ruhani. They're non-material.
So not the sort of winged figures we often see in Western art.
Probably not. It's better to think of them as perhaps pure energies, forms of consciousness, realities that aren't bound by physical bodies.
And seeing them then would also require that inner faculty you mentioned, that bat nigerish.
Absolutely. You perceive spiritual reality with the spiritual faculty. The two go hand in hand.
And Hafez uses the plural Malaic angels. Is there significance in the number?
It could suggest the breadth, the sheer scope of this spiritual event or encounter. It wasn't just a single entity, but a multitude, perhaps representing different facets of the divine influx.
And the night setting, this symbolic inner space, it kind of enhances that feeling of profundity, doesn't it? A space away from the everyday buzz.
Exactly. That detachment from the noise of the day allows for this kind of inner meeting, this receptivity.
Okay, then the really intriguing part. They knocked at the tavern door, Zadan, a tavern. That feels, deliberately provocative.
It certainly is. It's highly symbolic. And Dr. Dinani is clear. The meh, the wine often associated with taverns in this poetry, isn't literal alcohol.
Right, it stands for something deeper. What does it symbolize here?
It represents two key concepts, often intertwined. Maarefat, which is like divine knowledge, gnosis, profound spiritual insight, and Mohabbat, deep, authentic love, often divine love.
Knowledge and love. And the angels are seeking this mixture, this blend at a tavern door. Are knowledge and love seen as connected then?
Inseparable, really, at this mystical level. True, deep knowledge is inherently loving, and the highest form of love carries with it a profound understanding. They're seen as two faces of the ultimate reality.
Okay, so angels, these pure spiritual beings, are seeking divine knowledge and love. But why knock at a tavern door? What does the tavern, the makana itself, represent?
This is fascinating. Dr. Dinani suggests the tavern is connected to humanity. It represents a source or maybe a vessel where this Maarefat and Mohabbat can be found, accessed through human experience.
Wait, through human experience. So the angels are looking towards humanity for this. That kind of flips the script, doesn't it?
It does. It implies that this ultimate spiritual nourishment isn't just in some remote heaven, but potentially embodied or at least accessible right here within the human condition. It elevates our potential immensely.
Wow. That connects perfectly to the next line, doesn't it? The clay of Adam they needed. Gully Adam by Sirish Tand. What's happening here? What does this needing signify?
This is understood as something that happened conceptually before Adam's earthly existence. It's about the preparation of humanity's essential nature, our core potential. And the angels are involved.
Involved in shaping our potential. How does that link back to them seeking knowledge and love at the tavern?
Dr. Dinani brings in a very significant hadith here, a sacred saying. I kneaded the clay of Adam with my two hands. God's two hands are interpreted symbolically as representing God's Jamal, his beauty, grace, love, and his Jalal, his majesty, power, knowledge. So these divine qualities were fundamentally mixed into the very essence of humanity from the beginning.
But Hafez says the angels needed it. How does that fit with God's hands?
They are seen as participating in God's creative act, like divine artisans carrying out the task. Their involvement was part of preparing this clay humanity to be a receptacle capable of holding and manifesting exactly that blend of knowledge, Jalal, and love, Jamal, that they're now seeking at the tavern door.
Okay, I think I'm following. They help prepare the vessel, and then the line continues, and struck it into a cup or measure. Ba Peymaneh Zidan. What is this Peymaneh, this cup?
The Peymaneh, the cup or measure, represents our individual existence, our being, our hasty.
So the essence of Adam, infused with divine potential by God, worked on by angels, was then poured into the cup of human existence.
That's the interpretation. Our life, our being, is the vessel designed to hold this potential for divine knowledge and love.
The implication is pretty staggering. It means the very things the angels seek, the Maarefat and Mohabbat symbolized by the tavern's wine, are contained, potentially, within this human cup.
Precisely. It suggests a unique spiritual station for humanity. The angels, in a sense, need to look towards us, or the potential within us, to find the fullest expression of these divine qualities integrated together.
This idea of angels needing something from humanity or learning from us,
Yeah.
does that appear elsewhere in Islamic thought?
Yes, it resonates strongly with the concept of the Insan-e, the perfected or complete human being. Dr. Dinani mentioned traditions where angels, even Gabriel, are said to have learned certain praises of God, like Subhanallah or La ilaha illallah, from the prophets, especially Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Which echoes that other line sometimes attributed to this context, the angels sought the lesson of Adam.
Exactly. It highlights this potential for humanity to act as a teacher, even to celestial beings, within this framework. It's a profound reimagining of the cosmic order.
It really is. Now, just to ground this slightly, angels are obviously central in Islam, right? They're not just poetic devices here.
Oh, absolutely not. Belief in angels is fundamental, alongside belief in God, the messengers, the holy books like the Quran. They're seen as crucial links between the unseen world, alam-i-ghaib, and the visible world, alam-i-shahadat.
They transmit grace, carry out commands.
Yes, they're part of the very fabric of reality in that understanding.
And there's that famous Quranic dialogue where the angels question God about creating a Khalifa, a vicegerent, on earth, isn't there? They express concern.
That's right. They ask, essentially, will you place someone there who will cause corruption and shed blood?
How does that fit with the idea of angels seeking knowledge from humanity? It sounds like they had reservations.
Dr. Dinani explains this very carefully. It wasn't a challenge to God's wisdom. Their concerns stem specifically from the phrase, on the earth filard.
Because earth implies.
Materiality, Mariat. And in the nature of materiality, there's inherent potential for conflict, tazad, struggle, decay, things alien to the angel's pure, non-material nature. They foresaw the potential downsides of mixing this divine spark with earthliness.
So it wasn't defiance, but more like an expression of their own nature and the logical consequences they perceived.
Exactly. It's sometimes described as a dialogue in the Zabani Takwin, the language of creation or being itself. Their nature recoiled slightly from the implications of embodied existence on Earth. But it doesn't contradict the idea that this very embodied existence holds the unique potential for integrating knowledge and love in a way angels themselves might seek to comprehend.
So their purity gives them one perspective, but humanity's complex embodied nature allows for this unique synthesis of Jamal and Jalal, the very thing found in the tavern.
That seems to be the profound suggestion Hafez is making, as interpreted here. It speaks volumes about his view of human potential, love, spirituality, and the intricate search for the divine within our own being.
So to recap this first part of the ghazal, we have this inner vision, angels seeking divine knowledge and love, and finding its potential source connected to humanity, needed into our very essence and contained within our existence. It's quite a statement about us.
It truly is. It shifts the focus from looking only outward or upward to also looking inward, to the potential held within the human cup.
Which leads to a powerful thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
How clear is your inner vision? How polished is that inner mirror, the heart, to perceive these deeper realities?
And perhaps what's your own capacity, your istindad or readiness for that divine grace, for that blend of knowledge and love? Are you actively cultivating it?
Yeah, are you, in Hafez's terms, working to open your own tavern door? Are you making space in your life for that transformative encounter with knowledge and love? something to reflect on.
Definitely food for thought.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into Hafez with Wisdom Unveiled. And again, thank you for your understanding regarding the translation aspect.
A pleasure. Until the next time. Farewell.